Good afternoon. I'm Tony Trabert, and with me is John Newcomb. We're minutes away from the Grand Prix finals between McEnroe and Lendl, and it's the culmination of a great year in men's tennis, Newk, 1982.
1982 was a super year for tennis, Tony. On the Grand Prix circuit, there were 84 tournaments played in 29 countries around the world. And the top 12 point getters from those tournaments have come here to Madison Square Garden, where during this last week they've been having a showdown.
They've changed the format. It used to be a round robin, but there were some questions, some controversy, because some of the players were able to dump matches and still get to the semifinals. It's now an elimination tournament. We're eliminated down to two, McEnroe and Lendl. We'd like to show you the points that the seeded players won during 1982. Connors with 33.55, Vilas is second, Lendl third, and McEnroe fourth, and that's how they were seeded. In McEnroe's half of the draw, he got to the semifinals against Vilas. They played a fairly easy match for McEnroe, 6-3, 6-3. This is a point from that match with Vilas serving in the near court.
In 1982, McEnroe started off slowly. He had a couple of injuries early in the year, and one thing that hurt his game was his mobility around the court. It's a different story this year. His mobility around the court is as good as it ever has been.
He's also been taking the ball earlier, taking it on the rise. He's been hitting with more pace. It's worked very well for him so far.
Take a look at this shot.
And shots like that helped John McEnroe get into the finals. In the other half of the draw, Jimmy Connors got to the semifinals against Ivan Lendl. It was a big matchup of big hitters. It turned out Ivan Lendl was just too strong. Here's Connors serving.
These two players met in the 1982 U.S. Open final. That time it was Connors in 4 sets. Yesterday, it was a different story.
Passing shots like that were just too much for Jimmy Connors, and Ivan Lendl advanced easily to the finals. Nuke, I've got to ask you the question. We have Ivan Lendl, a big hitter, against John McEnroe. McEnroe's lost the last 6 matches he's played to Lendl. What do you think we can see this afternoon?
Well, Tony, as you say, in the last 18 months, 6 times in big matches, Lendl has beaten McEnroe. So far, McEnroe has not been able to come up with an answer. I keep waiting for him to show me some different tactics, but it appears that in each match, he tries the serve volley routine that he does against everybody else. Lendl passes him a few times. He gets a little shaky, starts to stay back. And the other important thing is that Lendl returns McEnroe's serve exceptionally well.
They say that whoever returns serves the best and serves the best will win this match. It's the best of 5 sets. We'll be back after this commercial message. As McEnroe's serve goes, so goes his game. Not a bad first point.
Oh, if that's going to be an indication of what we're going to see, I think McEnroe's in for a bit of trouble, because the longer the rallies go on, the edge has to move to Lendl. That type of game is more to his liking. It was interesting in that first rally, though, to see how McEnroe kept trying to change up slices, top spins.
He also went into Lendl's forehand a few times on purpose, which he didn't do last year at the Open and lost. And I think he saw that Connors did do that successfully in the finals.
But if you're going to go to Lendl's forehand, you've got to go there hard, and you have to hit very close to the lines. You can't give him any breathing room. That forehand is lethal.
It's out.
Great start.
just wide. Nuke, that little slice backhand that McEnroe hits, I think is one of the shots that gets him in trouble against a player like Lendl. Doesn't have much pace, frequently doesn't go very deep. That's out, and it's double break point for Lendl in the first game of this match. 15-14. Again, a reminder, this is the best 3 out of 5 sets. All the other matches were 2 out of 3. Shot by McEnroe. Lendl is broken and leads 1-love first set. We have some very startling news we want to pass on to you as soon as we get a chance. We have just heard unofficially that Bjorn Borg has announced his retirement from competitive tennis. Now, again, it is unofficial. We have gotten it from a reasonably reliable source that he has made that announcement. And if so, of course, that puts this match in greater perspective. We'll touch on it in a minute. Lendl has only lost his serve once in this entire tournament. These players have played a lot of big tournaments. Do you think they're nervous?
I think they're both nervous right now. I thought McEnroe started off exceptionally nervous, and you can see Lendl take a deep breath, shrug his shoulders. This is the start of it's the end of a year, but it's really the start of a year for them. Looked as if it was going out the whole way. A little bit of topspin, a little bit of extra topspin it had on it. Just brought it down. Tony, just I'm not 100% sure about this, but to clarify from the information I have, I don't think Borg has made an announcement he's retiring. I think it's press reports that have been circulating during the last week and seem to be getting more and more accurate as the week goes on, that there is an announcement to be coming soon that he will retire, which has sort of taken everybody a bit by surprise because we thought he was going to come back in '83.
Keep up the good work.
Certainly be a loss to millions of his fans, but that means these two guys are probably going to fight out number 1 and 2 positions for this year, along with Jimmy Connors.
Well, absolutely. That would put greater significance on this match and the subsequent matches between these players because, as you say, with Connors, they seem to be the ones that will be fighting for the number 1 spot in the world.
Oh,
good shot.
he kept that down really well, didn't he? That's you flatten out too much on that shot. You're going to shoot it wide or over the baseline. He put just the right amount of topspin on it.
Love 30.
That's one of the few first serves that McEnroe's gotten in so far.
15-13.
He has gotten in 2 first serves thus far in 2 service games. Lendl unbeaten in 58 consecutive indoor matches. Phenomenal year he's had, made a tremendous amount of money.
Oh! That's great, Jason. Watch the line next time, all right?
30-all.
It's one of the things that I think McEnroe is trying to do a little differently. Take the ball a little bit earlier. He got that ball pretty much on the rise, and though he didn't make a real solid shot down the line, Lendl didn't have as much time to get over to it.
Disgusting proportion.
And again, break point for Lendl. That's the second double fault that McEnroe has served. You see him sometimes sort of picking at his eyes. He puts sawdust in his pockets, and I think sometimes some remains on his hand, and when he serves or whatever, it falls off and gets in his eyes. So Lendl is the sawdust king. They've got to sweep on court changes because he's got so much sawdust behind the baseline.
An interesting serve. Pretty key point as far as his first serve goes. It would have been 2 breaks down, and he went right at the body on the backhand side.
I think that's the key for him to play Lendl. He's got to serve him tight more, not let him take that big swing at it.
Went for it again, straight at the body. I think Lendl would have won the point had he gone across court. See him coming up to this short one. Watch McEnroe back off.
Advantage, McEnroe.
There was room across court to get the shot, but why did McEnroe back off then?
He had to get farther away from him because he thought he was going to shoot it at him. It's one of Lendl's tactics.
Exactly. He knows Lendl likes to do that, so he deliberately backed off to the net, off from the net.
Had a little more time to get that. He also got that backhand grip, defended with a backhand volley.
Oh, my God.
Oh, that's a super shot. Just nothing you can do about that.
Lendl got him on the string. When McEnroe entered that backhand corner and came back out, that terrific backhand back down the line. The contre-pied, as they say in France, wrong-footed him.
Well, I don't know how much he wrong-footed him, man. I think he just blasted it by him. I mean, it was a shot you weren't looking for over the high part of the net. 3'6" at the side compared to 3 foot in the middle.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, no flash calls. This blinds you temporarily. Thank you very much.
Gotta be the worst serving exhibition.
Oh, missed the sitter. You won't see Lendl miss many of those.
McEnroe.
Pays off for McEnroe. Lendl leads 2-1 first set.
Lendl leads.
It's long.
15 left.
Well, that last game when McEnroe was serving was an important one for him as far as his first set goes. He trailed love 30. Looked like he was going to go down 2 breaks. It was a good game to get out of it.
It was down a break point, too. Made that good first serve right at Lendl.
McEnroe is standing in very close on Lendl's second serve. I think that's a good tactic, and he's trying to play an aggressive return on it. Get some initiative in the rally.
He has done that against other opponents.
Can you sit down in the back, please?
And it has unnerved them a little bit on their second serves. They end up serving some doubles, as Lendl did then. Oh, he really made a good fake job on that one.
He did. It looked like he was going to roll it.
15-13.
See here, it looked like he was going to roll it slowly across court. He drew Lendl in. See Lendl come in real close right at the end. Body weight going forward, was a sucker for the lob.
Back live, first serves at fault. 15-30. That's where Lendl is so good. When he gets you a little out of position with the pace he has on his shots, he can really take advantage of you. Great point for McEnroe.
13-14.
And a good return to serve from McEnroe. He said yesterday that was one of the keys. He had to return serve well.
Whoa. You talk about big smoke. What a great weapon to have. Get in a little trouble and reach up and really conk that first serve and place it well. Another good serve.
Yeah, not only are they good serves, but they've got a lot of depth.
Lendl.
Really a key thing to good serving is how deep can you get it, how close to the lines.
Three in a row.
Now that's one of the keys to Lendl's success.
Lendl leads
Big
3-1.
first serves. He was not happy with the way he was serving early in this tournament. And against Connors, he really was not tossing the ball high enough. So he's tossing a little bit higher. And the results have been outstanding for him.
As far as a ball toss goes, though, Tony, I think technically, I think he tosses it too high, but not for the way he serves.
He's accustomed to that high toss. See, McEnroe lost last year in the semifinals here to Lendl 6-4, 6-2. big stuff. The forehand of Lendl.
13-15.
The return of serve was hit not only hard, but very, very deep. The second shot was not quite as tough.
He's running around all the second serves when on that first court. I wonder when McEnroe's going to start kicking them wide out to the forehand.
Again, McEnroe having success in this game when he gets the first serve in. We just got word that the Miami Dolphins are leading the New York Jets 7-0 in the fourth quarter. Very inclement weather down there, rain for 2 days, and a very muddy track for both teams. Back here it's 40-15. McEnroe serving at 1-3 first set. I guess that pretty much tells you what John thinks of that last backhand he made.
Yep, he really did push at it. But there's definitely a bit of a weakness there when Lendl really hammers his forehand into the backhand. It doesn't respond that well.
Game McEnroe.
McEnroe holds serve. Lendl now leads 3-2 first set. The Grand Prix Masters final between Ivan Lendl and John McEnroe. This is set number 1 of the best 3 out of 5 set final. Lendl has a break and is serving at 3-2.
It's not one place, it's another.
McEnroe complaining that the first serve was not good. Great shot by John McEnroe.
Deep approach shot by Lendl. Nothing wrong with it. Shot from McEnroe was just too good. See the ball landing about an inch inside the baseline.
Back live at 15-0. Arthur Ashe, the United States Davis Cup captain, finished another successful year in France. Yep. It's really the power of Lendl because he hit such a good shot on the prior shot. McEnroe was not able to make a good volley, and as a result, the court was wide open. 30-15. Surprised that McEnroe didn't come in behind that shot off the second serve.
I was too. He played a good return of serve. He was aggressive, but it just looks as if he's still a little hesitant, a little unsure of himself. Or maybe he's a little too sure of Lendl's ability to pass.
40-30. Just Lendl has held serve.
Lendl leads 4-2.
Anything surprise you so far, Newt?
No, nothing really. I think they're still just a little nervous, settling down. Neither one is serving that great, except for that one Lendl's service game 2 games ago when he put in 3 great serves. I still don't think that McEnroe is 100% sure of his game plan. There's a ball that I thought McEnroe might try hitting some to Lendl. There's a shot similar to the one he just hit, slicing his backhand, but keeping it very low over the net, and the slice keeping the bounce low, moving Lendl up into 3/4 court.
Trying to land it short in Lendl's
Yes.
court.
But the bounce of that ball when McEnroe hits it must not be high, because if Lendl can get a good crack at it, he's going to hit it away for a winner. You keep the ball low and make him move forward on the front foot.
Another excellent serve by McEnroe, straight at Lendl.
I'm just thinking there's not much to go on, is it?
Not really.
Play the guy short 3/4 court, keep it bouncing low. At least it's something to work off.
Taking lessons for your girl?
McEnroe has said in his last couple of interviews that he's usually much more uptight the first few games. He's nervous, and that's when he's more apt to have a sort of a blurt out at the lines people or something. Missed the volley. John didn't think his first serve was good. Lendl made a good return, though, Nuke.
He did. It was a nice deep serve. Not the easiest one to return that well.
And he got that top spin, so the ball's rolling, get down lower in the top of the net. 30-all.
Great, you got that one. You got the other.
Well, that's a more positive play from McEnroe. There's the volley, but it was all set up by that second serve. That was an interesting time to do it, too. Lendl has been sneaking around the second serve, hitting it on his forehand, so he really went for a big one. It was a big point, too, 30-all. 40-30. I really think that if McEnroe's going to open up an edge in this match, he's only going to do it by being extremely brave. He's going to have to go for some things. Like that.
McEnroe holds serve. Lendl now leads 4 games to 3. First from your Lendl lead. Out the serve from the far court, leading 4 games to 3 first set. He has a service break. He got that in the opening game by breaking McEnroe's serve.
Not really the one to come in on.
A little different strategy by both players that time, staying back and rallying, and both hitting some underspin backhands.
Right, there was one shot Lendl hit in that game where you saw him reach forward for the backhand, the short bouncing one, and he moved straight back to the baseline again. Does not like playing that shot.
We understand it is now 14-0, the Miami Dolphins over the New York Jets with 12 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter. Of course, the winner goes into the Super Bowl to play the Washington Redskins.
Quite a few people in Australia are asking about American football now, because we've been receiving those playoff matches down there live the last 2 years. I don't explain it to them too well. Follow all the results closely, but that's it.
Short. Yes.
Game went over.
Pay the price. You come in on a short approach shot against a good player. You're going to eat it. Lendl now leads 5 games to 3 in the
Lendl
first set.
leads 5-3.
American football is a little bit different than your Australian rules football, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't have all those shoulder pads and helmets.
What is that supposed to be?
Well, don't take me seriously, Trey.
Okay, McEnroe serving 3-5 first set.
Tennis hasn't been fantastic in the first set so far, but there's been some good shots. But it's been more of an interesting set, a searching, a probing set.
The nerves, as you mentioned, has something to do with the cautiousness that they've played some of the shots in this first set.
I think Lendl's pretty sure about how he wants to play the game. McEnroe has still not decided what his tactics will be. And Lendl keeps waiting for McEnroe to try something different.
That's his only ace of the match. McEnroe has served 2 double faults. Lendl has 1 ace and 1 double fault. It just looked to me like the forehand that Lendl hit had so much pace on it, just really handcuffed McEnroe. He didn't time the ball very well at all, mishit it, was late.
Well, Lendl's got a forehand that he can hit it harder, and you don't realize it's coming harder. Seems to be get extra wrist action into the shot. Takes you by surprise.
There's the game we're talking about. McEnroe holds serve. When we come back, Lendl will be serving for the set at 5-4. Ivan Lendl serving at 5-4 with new balls, trying to run out the first set.
That was unlucky. It was going for a winner.
Nuke on this kind of a surface, how important do you think new balls are?
You're going to get a little bit of help from it. I read where McEnroe said that the balls fluff up a little, so you obviously get a bit more pace out of your surf. First percentage, very low.
15
That'll help it.
39 and 37%. You really should be striving for around 70% of first serves into play.
Just out.
30-15.
It doesn't matter which way the calls go here in the Garden. If it's close, you get half the crowd going one way and half the other.
And usually those that are whistling are at the opposite end of the court from where the ball lands. You know, the worst position in the world.
100 yards from the
Wade,
line.
excuse me, Virginia Wade, who works with us in the U.S. Open. Former U.S. Open Wimbledon champion. Lovely lady.
Oh, it's a great shot.
Good disguise by McEnroe.
What great handwork here. Look at him moving into the ball. To play the approach shot. The last second, the racket head comes right underneath the ball. Backspin on the shot. Perfect drop shot, perfect disguise. What a big point, too.
Just long, and it's set point for Lendl. McEnroe doesn't like the call. Appeared to be a correct call.
Well, yeah. It's pretty hard for him to call it. He was 78 foot away.
Well, he thinks he's capable of that. He does it all the time. Set point. Lendl wins the first set, 6 games to 4. A good set of tennis it was.
Please hold your seats.
Well, when they get in those long rallies, McEnroe's certainly going to have to keep a little more depth on his shots. By depth, I mean landing the ball closer to the baseline.
Next weekend, the PGA Tour on CBS returns with the $300,000 Phoenix Open. Lanny Watkins is the defending champion, and I'm sure is hoping to repeat the hole-in-one he registered in last year's tournament. Be here for the Phoenix Open, starting next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports. Set number 2, McEnroe to serve. McEnroe lost the first service game of the set, and Lendl made it stand up. That should make the weekend player feel a little bit better. That was an absolute sitter volley for McEnroe.
I got the feeling he was so surprised it came back that easy. Didn't know what to do with it.
He had enough time to think about it. You can't afford to make those kind of errors against a player the caliber of Lendl.
Well, Lendl picked up this, it was a good volley from McEnroe, and the ball was going outside the court, started to spin back in. It was lucky McEnroe was there.
All set up by an excellent second serve by McEnroe as we come back live at 15-all.
Out.
He's really catching him with that serve straight into the backhand. The one that gets in tight on the body. Doesn't seem to be able to get his racket head over the ball. If the match develops into a long one and McEnroe persists with that tactic, you might find Lendl standing back another pace. Give himself a little more time to play the shot.
After Lendl's victory over Connors, he rushed right into the locker room to put ice on a sore arm, a sore elbow. So with as hard as Lendl swings at it, if he is having any arm problems, we haven't apparently seen any evidence of it yet, but if it deteriorates, that could be a factor in this match too. Again, McEnroe, his serve was long. He didn't even make an attempt on the return. That's a mistake. You don't hear any call. You got to play it.
It was good too, John.
Frank Hammond, the umpire, said, I thought it was good too, John. .30.
So we should play everything now, right? Anything within the service line, the baseline too?
Baseline change it.
Oh, okay, Frank, good call. Real good.
That's what you should do. That's what you should always do. You got to play it until you hear a call. McEnroe hits his third ace. He wins the first game of the second set.
First game, second set.
With John Newcomb, this is Tony Trabert from Madison Square Garden. This is the Grand Prix Masters final. Lendl serving. Second game, second set. Lendl's won the first set 6-4. McEnroe has the first game of the second set. Good serve. Sort of returned the tactic there, Nuke. Just drove it right into McEnroe's body.
For that time to return the serve, McEnroe stood back about 5 foot behind the baseline. Seemed to do a lot better at it.
He did get it down and made Lendl half volley coming in.
Here he's in tight again now.
Ace number 2 for Lendl, and he now gets even at 1-all second set.
That's what we've been talking about so far in this match as it unfolds before us. Lendl seems certain of the way he's going to play the game. McEnroe is still not sure of his tactics. Should he stand in tight to receive serve or stand back?
Lendl's seated third and McEnroe fourth. That is based on the number of Grand Prix points they won in 1982. Lendl won an awful lot of prize money, over $1.6 million in 1982, but a lot of that was in WCT tournaments that do not earn Grand Prix points. Just wide. A little motion with Lendl's hand. He's saying, I was trying to curve that ball back in. You sort of get the outside of the ball and make it curve back into the court if you can on those wide ones. Ace number 4.
And he's picked up his serving, timing on his serving. From 5-3 down in the first set, he started to serve better.
See the times the players have come to the net and the points they've won.
McEnroe's also getting a little bit more confidence to come in behind his second serve now and then, something which he didn't do for most of the first set.
I think it's a good play. John relies so much on the way the serve goes, and even though it's a second serve, he kicks it pretty well, can move it wide. I think he can come in more than he's been doing. Just long. So McEnroe holds serve and now leads 2-1 second set.
McEnroe leads 2-1.
Lendl has won the first point of his serve, so he's serving now at 15 love. Von Lendl won the first set 6-4. He's trailing 1-2 in the second set. Again, the best 3 out of 5 set final.
That's the first backhand that McEnroe's really timed across court. At the top of his game, McEnroe loves to drive that backhand across court with topspin and hit it close to the lines like he did then. He's tried 4 or 5 of them previously today. Neither one has been timed great.
Nuke, when I was captain of the Davis Cup team and John played, when he would want to take the second serve and come in, he would slice it sometimes. I said, if you're going to do that, I'd rather you drive it, go over it, be more aggressive with it. If you make a good shot, you give the other guy less time, you force him immediately. If you chip it and you surprise him, he still has time to make a play on you. See if McEnroe tries to take it early and maybe hit a good one and come on in. Lendl 1 point away from getting even at 2-all in the second set. McEnroe, I guess, has broken a string in his racket.
You get 2 serves in this situation. Lendl just automatically turned around and called for the ball. The umpire has said it's a first fault. He's not going to give him a second serve. 2 serves. Now he is. I thought for a minute. Because if you're the server and you break a string and change your racket, you don't get the serve over again.
Game Lendl.
Good breaking serve that time by Lendl. Took a little speed off, got it out wide, and it's 2-all.
By place.
approach by McEnroe. That time had a little pace to it. It stayed down. Made it tougher for Lendl. You see that Lendl's beaten McEnroe the last 6 matches they've played. And he is confident against McEnroe. He knows he can return his serve. There are some people that question Ivan Lendl because this is the only major championship he's won. This tournament last year hadn't won any Grand Slam events. Let's get into that after this point. Fine serve by McEnroe. Made the rest pretty academic. McEnroe now leads 3 games to 2, second set.
McEnroe leads 3-2.
Ivan Lendl to serve, trailing 2-3 in the second set. He's won the first set 6-4. Although McEnroe got away with that approach shot, it was not a very devastating approach. It wasn't hit with a lot of pace and was not very deep.
I got the feeling Lendl was a little bit upset with himself because he was set up to make a pass off the forehand side too. You know, quite a few games McEnroe has been winning the first point on Lendl's serve. Great shot. One of his own back. You just get a feeling that you watch McEnroe hit his forehand again. Just a super shot. Use the pace of Lendl's forehand. The opening was there down the line.
Still a tough shot to make.
Oh, it was a great shot.
Love 30.
You keep winning that first point on someone's service, sooner or later you're going to break.
Even though the shot would go into Lendl's forehand, I think he has to pull that backhand cross court if he's going to try that from the deuce court. Really rip it. We have a jugs gun to judge the speed of the serve. We'll take a look this time and see what Lendl's first serve goes in at. 116 miles an hour approximately.
That's good play. Good play and good court position from Lendl.
Lendl looked a little unsure when he made the first backhand volley. But when he looked up, he realized that McEnroe was going to be late getting to it. He moved forward. And when McEnroe chopped the next shot and was high, it was an easy volley for Lendl. It's 30-all. Good serve.
Well, Lendl in trouble a couple of times, but each time so far in the match he's come up with a good serve. That was not a good volley. He looked across, he wanted to hit it across court and looked there before he hit it. I said, there goes the winner.
He nubbed that one, didn't he? Obviously took his eyes off the ball. Not the slickest volley he's ever made, I'm sure. Good depth.
That also shows he has great confidence in himself because he was not frightened to come into the net immediately.
He had a short ball and it was high and he knew he could drive it. Nuke, that was certainly a shot that appeared to be uncertain on McEnroe's part.
It really was. He was just going to push it down the line, and Lendl was back there in position to receive that sort of a shot. I thought he would have clocked it across court hard.
Right. The Miami Dolphins have defeated the New York Jets 14-0. They will play the Redskins in the Super Bowl. McEnroe to serve, 3-all second set. Nuke, McEnroe's 5'11", 165. Lendl's 6'2", 175. Do you think that size difference is an advantage for Lendl?
Well, it shouldn't be, but I think it's more the pace and the power of Lendl's serving and the way he hits the ball. There's a lot of big guys around playing tennis who don't overpower John McEnroe. Just at Lendl's weight of shot, especially off the forehand side and off his first serve. Very powerful.
That's the third double served by McEnroe. He's had 5 aces. Lendl has 2 aces and 1 double fault so far. Would be critical. It's now love 30. Break point for Lendl.
He didn't really unload on that first serve, did he? He only hit it about 3/4 pace. Looked like he was saying, gee, just get it in. But that's not good enough if you're going to serve and volley against someone who returns as well as Lendl. Does he go wide to the forehand on this first serve?
I think he's serving tight. Let's see what happens.
Well, you never know what's going to come. You've got to be ready for it, haven't you?
You were absolutely right. Good serve wide to the forehand.
Opened up the court. But Lendl made a heck of a shot from back that far out of court.
McEnroe's first volley was not very penetrating. I think he thought he had Lendl so far out of court he didn't have to do much with it. Lendl ran it down and made an awfully good shot down the line, but Mac was waiting for it. 30-40.
Let's guess again. Straight at the body on the backhand.
I'm going to say wide.
It was a good serve. Let's leave it at that.
So from love 40, McEnroe fights back the deuce.
But McEnroe has such good disguise on that serve when he's serving well that it's a sort of a guessing game that Ivan Lendl will be playing down there. Where is he going to go this time?
That's nice serve. Hurt my arm.
Shot that McEnroe had to make then. He should have played a much better approach shot. Let's have a look where the ball actually bounces. You see it bounce. Oh, just easy set up. Plenty of time to get it. Bend his knees. Plenty of time to play the shot.
And you know, there are some people that say, you know, great shot Lendl, and really in that situation was a poor shot by John McEnroe. Break point for Lendl. is a fourth break point in this game for him. Good serve and a good deep volley. That set up the cripple overhead. Fans love it when they see a player bounce the ball into the stands. It's really the easiest shot in tennis for a good player.
Really pumps you up.
Yep. They're not built for that. There's no one-year warranty on wooden rackets when you hit them against the linesman's. Whoops.
That's got to be costly. You're down a break point and you smash your racket. All these rackets, of course, would be strung the same, but it's still got to be slightly different.
And again, it is a break point for Ivan Lendl, the defending champion.
I don't know what's going to happen, but I don't know how many times I've seen John McEnroe blow up and right after it come back with something really good. Seems to bring the best out of him.
May not have been the best, was an awfully good first serve. You're right, Duke. As usual.
It seems to relieve the tension inside him.
Another break point for Lendl. This is the 6th break point in this game. McEnroe was down 11-40 and fought his way to deuce.
I was just thinking when he smashed his racket against the umpire's thing there, boy, he could have really hurt his wrist.
And you could splinter, something could fly and hurt the lines person. Not a good thing to do. I don't know about you, John, but when I was playing, I had favorite rackets, though obviously you have others to back up, you know, when you're prepared in case you break a racket or something or a string, but I had favorites, and I sure wouldn't want to waste them that way. Be a tough second serve.
I was just gonna say, do you serve and volley on this second serve?
I don't think so. I don't think John will.
Set down, 3-all, break point.
Lendl breaks and now leads 4 games to 3. Second set. We'll return after this message from your local station. In the first set, Ivan Lendl broke McEnroe's serve in the first game of the set. Held his serve all the way through to win at 6-4. Lendl has now broken for a 4-3 lead and is serving, trying to stretch the lead to 5-3. Again, this is the best 3 out of 5 set final. All the other matches were 2 out of 3. So we've got a lot of tennis left. Perfect. Serve hit perfectly flat, straight down that center line. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Hot! 35.
A good serve by Lendl.
It's a pretty decisive game when you've just broken serve.
It's the way to do it. Some players let down when they get a service break, or they play it too cautiously.
And if you've had your serve broken, the best time to break back is immediately. And you know McEnroe would have wanted to do that this game.
Ooh. That's a big miss. You miss a second serve that far. Second double fault by Lendl.
If you're going to serve a double fault, 40 loves the time to do it. 40 love ahead anyway.
Just long.
So just a little lapse of concentration from Lendl the last 2 points.
McEnroe standing farther back, even for the second serve. Lendl holds serve and now leads 5 games to 3 in the second set.
5-3.
Tony, McEnroe's definitely not playing his type of tennis game. You remarked yesterday during his match how close in he was standing in the rallies, getting the ball early on the rise, and we saw him in that last point there. He was standing about 2 foot behind the baseline in the rally, and that's just not the way he likes to play.
I think Lendl has a lot to do with that too, don't you?
Certainly has. Even some of the passing shots 2 games ago when he faced a break point, he had to play a backhand passing shot. He fell right off the ball, which showed me that he's very indecisive.
Is there a point in a situation where a player like McEnroe might just panic and just not know what to do, or might get frustrated and just take dumb chances, or what?
In the matches that I've watched these two play, that has happened, and you see it developing as the match goes on. My experience when, whenever I find myself getting into that situation against a player, I found there's only one thing to do, and that was to decide on a tactic, which in my case was usually just attack and just keep attacking.
Get down to real good solid basics. What you do best.
If the guy hits the winners, he's too good, but don't fiddle around with him.
It's interesting to me how frequently Lendl gets McEnroe on the defensive. He'll make one good solid shot, and from then on McEnroe is scampering around the court, never getting there in time to really make a good swing at it, so he has to sort of block the ball back. And of course that's right up Lendl's alley. Ace number 6.
30 all.
Get one in, you matter.
Well, a bit of luck for McEnroe that time, though he did some heroics to get it back.
Sure was. Great racket work, and as often has been remarked about McEnroe, he has extremely quick hands.
14,
You can see
13.
here in mid-air he had to change his direction, get his racket back up in the air to hit the winner.
Come back live at 40-30. 3-5 second set. Well, that's the first. I don't know that I've ever seen McEnroe doing gymnastics.
I thought he was going to do a human spike.
He's about on the mat, so might as well tumble a little bit. He's saying I stink. It was not a very good shot. He would be the first to tell you that. Lendl was in the right position. He stayed right in that backhand corner. Loose.
Oh, yes, too good.
A great return to serve made McEnroe hit a half volley and then a big forehand.
I thought he hit a pretty good half volley off that return, too.
And it's set point for Lendl.
Going to be a long way back from 2-0 down, but Lendl did it last year against Gerolaitis. Trailed 2-0 in a break. Good serve. Jammed him again. It's the one serve that he has been having a lot of success with today, but of course you can't overdo that tactic.
And interestingly, too, in the ad court, after he does that a little bit, when he breaks it wide, it works fairly well for him. Encouragement of the crowd.
Could be a new Mac we got out here. First a somersault, and then waving to the crowd. A couple of firsts going.
I saw him smile on the court yesterday once. There's the wide 0. When we come back, Lendl will be serving at 5-4. The Grand Prix Masters final, Lendl about to start serving to try to run out the second set. When the first set's 6-4, he's serving at 5-4. McEnroe standing a little bit farther back.
Oh, that's not a shot that he misses. That foot wide open.
Not that by that big a margin either. That would have hardly hit in the doubles court.
That's just nerves.
McEnroe would stand in that close on the second serve, but not try to do anything with the ball. I mean, and Lendl's not coming in. I mean, if you're going to stand in close, shouldn't you be trying to do something special?
If I thought for about 3 hours, I could not give you a logical explanation for it.
It's 15-all.
It's like threatening to attack someone, then going backwards all the time.
Short approach. The McEnroe approach was maybe 3 feet past the service line. It's got to be at least 3 feet from that baseline or closer to really be effective. It's 15-30. The New York crowd trying to cheer McEnroe on, get him even in the second set.
I think it was the suddenness of that last attack that won the last point for him from Lendl. He has to be aggressive. here. Lendl's not going to give it to him.
Good serve.
30 all.
Again, McEnroe standing just about on the baseline and walking forward. Lendl rolled that one forehand cross court short, took McEnroe way out of position. McEnroe had to turn and run back to cover the big hole to try to get back into court. And here he goes. Watch right here. Now McEnroe has to rush out from that wide position. You see him coming in, shoulders running along that baseline. He couldn't stop and get back. So it is now set point for Ivan Lendl.
Another little comedy act from McEnroe there. He went over to get in the car at the back of the court.
To get me out of here.
That's right.
Game, second set. Lendl
has won the second set.
6 games to 4.
6-4.
Lendl leads 2 sets to 11.
Big uphill battle, as you mentioned, Luke, for John McEnroe at this stage.
It sure is, which reminds me, Tony, you asked me a question some time ago about Lendl, and he's he's not having won a Grand Slam tournament, although he won this Masters last year.
McEnroe serving with the ball.
Next Sunday, it's the NBA on CBS as the world champion Los Angeles Lakers, led by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, take on Larry Bird's Boston Celtics. Join Dick Stockton and Bill Russell at courtside next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern for the NBA on CBS. Set number 3. Sorry to cut you off there, Nuke. I think it's a bum rap. The kid's 22 years of age. He's won a lot of tournaments. He hasn't been out there that long near the top. I think you'll see Ivan Lendl win a lot of Grand Slam events, and probably this year.
You're right, Tony. Well, he's only 22 years of age, and he was runner-up in the French Championships to Borg 2 years ago. So we see a replay of this. Moving in. He's the aggressor now.
A little safe on the volley. Let McEnroe get his racket on it, but there wasn't anything he could do with it.
Runner-up in the U.S. Open to Connors last year.
Didn't play at Wimbledon.
That's right, he didn't play. I can't see him winning Wimbledon for a few years. His game's not suited to grass yet. You have to serve and volley more there.
About that, you got a player on the dead run. Watch here as you see Lendl make a return. It's low, so McEnroe can't make a real punishing volley. It's a little bit short. Watch the good racket preparation, and he gets around that ball and it curves back in. You see McEnroe cheated to the left. No way he could get there. Perfect shot by Lendl on the run, and it's now love 30. Come back to live action. Like the air has been taken on McEnroe's balloon at the moment. He was playing at
really
a better pace.
Love 14.
Double fault number 4 for McEnroe, and it's triple break point for Lendl.
This goes back to that indecisive look about his game we've been talking about.
Big drag. I'm trying, right? I'm trying. I might not be doing too well right now, but at least I'm trying.
McEnroe, a little verbal exchange with some people in the crowd.
He's playing the mud.
Serve, and he now leads 1-0 in the third set. With John Newcomb, I'm Tony Trabert, delighted to bring you the Grand Prix Masters final from Madison Square Garden, where Czechoslovakia's Ivan Lendl, the defending champion, has a commanding 2-set lead over John McEnroe and a service break in the third set. So Lendl about to serve with a 1-love lead. Lendl's service percentage, first serve is 49, McEnroe 44. Lendl served 49% in his match against Connors in the semis and thought he'd served well because it was effective. Again, McEnroe trying to take the second serve and come in, but had no pace on his shot at all, not particularly good depth, and it was pretty easy for Lendl to make the pass.
Well, relatively speaking. The way he's hitting the ball today, it was pretty easy.
It's like charging a machine gun nest with a rubber knife. You got to get some pace on that thing and get it deep, man. I always talk about the great Don Budge could overpower people. Jack Kramer overpowered people. You're seeing Ivan Lendl overpower people.
Just getting more and more confident as the match progresses.
Obviously more relaxed, so more things are starting to work. McEnroe's got to be wondering what does he have to do. He has not played badly.
First service.
Would have been an ace, but it was a let. Lendl holds serve and has stretched his lead to 2-1 in the third set. Nuke, if you were John McEnroe right now, what would you try to do? Anything differently?
I would try to attack as much as I possibly could.
First and second serves?
First and second serves.
Right.
But I'm not sure whether he volleys well enough. I don't think he's got enough stick on his volley. Doesn't shoot through enough.
Next weekend, the PGA Tour on CBS returns with a $300,000 Phoenix Open. Lanny Watkins is the defending champion. Starting next Saturday at 3 Eastern on CBS Sports.
30 love.
Good serve by McEnroe.
Because there's hardly anyone on the world circuit that can return McEnroe's serve effectively, he never gets forced into the situation where he has to make these difficult volleys.
Or also where he's forced to stay back on the second serve most of the time. He doesn't feel confident coming in like he does against most people.
Late ball incorrect. 30-15.
Double fault number 5 by McEnroe. He obviously doesn't like the call.
Any particular reason why you waited 10 seconds? No? Just felt like it?
It's 30-15. Service winners, that means the other player couldn't get it back. 3 in favor of Lendl.
All last piece gets in.
30-all, and again the force of the return serve by Lendl, hit with authority and depth. McEnroe mishit the half volley, took him inside the baseline and made it easy for Lendl. Stabbed at a volley, and it turned out to work well for him.
He was a bit lucky to get away with this. Reaching for the ball, had no body weight to go with a shot. Just tried a drop volley. And this time, instead of going at his opponent, Lendl tried the wide one, but couldn't generate enough pace.
Well, the ball was low when he got to it, so you can't hit it hard. He just tried to bunt it cross court. McEnroe was able to run it down, so it's 40-30.
Boy, that's tough for a left-hander. That's got to be your best serve, the swinging one off the second court, and Lendl seems to return it so well. Look how early he takes this ball. He'll come inside the baseline, cutting off the angle all the time on that slice.
Back live. Lendl doesn't like the call. It's going to go down as an ace for McEnroe. That's ace number 8. Lendl first looked back at the sidelines behind him, then he looked at the other line. You know, the lines people around the world really do a superlative job day in and day out. It's a thankless job. They seldom get any credit, and they always get grief. It is a very difficult job, and I think they do it very well.
Great shot.
Now you've got to go back and think about the other drop volley when Lendl went cross court. This time he gets to it.
Take a look at McEnroe. He's looking for the cross court. That leaves a little opening down the line. Good play from Lendl. Normally McEnroe would have covered the down the line shot. But because of the last one, he had to wait for the cross court.
It's deuce. McEnroe's having difficulty getting that first serve, and even when he's trying to put extra spin on it, not really hit a hard first serve. He's just not serving well at all. Lendl was talking to himself that time because, again, McEnroe's approach was a mishit, landed inside the service line, and it's the kind of thing Lendl expects to make, the passing shot.
I think the approach shot was so short and bad, it fooled him. Almost before he hits that shot, he looks as if he thinks he's going to miss it.
He's not mechanically too sound. He's sort of straightened up, jumped with both feet coming off the ground. It's not the way you teach it.
It's not the way he hits it either when he's really confident.
Just missed. A better penetrating volley that time by McEnroe. But you got to give Lendl a lot of credit. He really just concentrates. He's a tough competitor. Single-mindedness out there. McEnroe holds serve. When we come back, Lendl will be serving at 2-1, third set.
Thank you.
There have been 3 service breaks thus far in this match. Ivan Lendl owns all of them. He's won the first 2 sets 6-4, 6-4, and is serving at 2-1. This is 11 straight games. Lendl has held his serve. As I mentioned earlier, he has only lost his serve once in this tournament against the best players in the world. Not too bad.
Please don't move around during the game. Sit down, please. Thank you.
Yes.
15 all.
Ace number 4 for Ivan Lendl.
Almost got a patent on that serve down the middle of the court, hasn't he, to both sides?
Well, he talked about it. He said, if I hit that serve hard and get it deep, it's going to be very difficult. Difficult indeed.
Point something out again about McEnroe. We've mentioned it before. Just not playing his passing shots confidently. Should be coming across with more topspin to bring that ball down quicker.
Back live, 30-15.
He's moving in on that second serve, playing an attacking shot, and then running backwards. So he's constantly, you can see his motion is going forward,
30 all.
and he's on his way back when Lendl plays his next shot. So he's always getting caught off balance once the rally starts.
So might as well stand back farther like he is now and then be moving into it.
It's pointless what he's doing so far. Talking about. If you're going to attack, keep coming in. And what a nice deep approach shot it was too.
13, 14.
Great point.
That's the first really positive return of a second serve we've seen in the match so far from McEnroe, Tony, where he actually has followed up on something.
Right, he pumped a backhand cross court earlier, but he didn't follow it up. Number 5 for Lendl. He has really responded well when he's in any kind of jeopardy on his serve. He's been tremendous.
He's come up with a big serve every time.
Our speed gun had that at approximately 109 miles an hour. That's not the only thing, though. It's how you place it and how you move it around.
Let's see what McEnroe does this time on the second serve. Caught again.
If you get inside that baseline and aren't going to continue the net, you better get back out behind the line. I've seen the graphic on the aces. McEnroe served 8 of them, 5 for Lendl, but McEnroe served 5 double faults to just 2 for Lendl. Great shot. McEnroe's down, but not hurt, I don't think. An excellent backhand deep in the corner by Lendl. He has held serve, and McEnroe will be serving at 1-3 in the third set. Time is starting to run out, Newt.
sure is. How many games is that, Tony, where he's had break points? 3 times?
I believe 3 times, but it's not very frequently when you get a break point against Lendl the way he's been playing. Don't forget what Lendl did on that break point. Here's another look at McEnroe coming in. Sort of straight up volley. This one is set up and Lendl's way out of position, so Mac just has to block it into the open court. We come back live at 15 love.
I believe it's only twice. We said 3 times McEnroe had break points. I think it was 2 games he's had break points in.
I see that up until September, McEnroe had not won a Grand Prix tournament in '82. He's won 4 straight since. That string is in great jeopardy right here. Serving.
Lendl leads 3-2.
As we come back to Madison Square Garden with Ivan Lendl leading 3-2 in the 3rd set. He's won the first 2 sets. McEnroe asked the usher to go out and get something for him, I believe. I'm not sure what that was. Lendl serving.
That's
double fault number 3 by Lendl. Lendl certainly hasn't let up on his first serve, so obviously his arm is not bothering him. Good serve.
He's had a bit of trouble with his arm for the last 2 or 3 months, and I think he's probably got it under control now. He just keeps icing it down as soon as he finishes.
Precautionary.
Shot.
When they say service winners, you see listed there, those are, of course, not aces. When the other player can't touch it, is when they hit the kind of serve that you just barely get your racket on it. 10-3 in favor of Lendl in that department. Just wide. Good passing shot by Lendl. McEnroe goes down. He's okay.
I don't think he fell. I think he sort of more or less rolled as he saw the ball going by the opposite direction. But that was a good passing shot from Lendl, because the approach shot was not a bad one from McEnroe.
There's the great Don Budge on the left of your screen, his wife Lori in the middle, and Fred Perry. Terrific to see those gentlemen here. What a part of the game they have been. .40-30. Well played by Ivan Lendl.
Lendl leads 4-2.
Well, McEnroe seems to be able to get to the brink, but that's about it. Gets to 30 all, gets a break point. He's winning the first point of the game on Lendl's serve.
5 plays.
Just can't win the last point of the game.
2-4. McEnroe serving.
Out. 15 left.
McEnroe missed a sitter. He's mad at the linesman, the service linesman, because he's saying his serve wasn't good, but he still had a very easy ball and just missed it. 15 all. Kind of shot that it looked like McEnroe. The natural thing would be to pull it cross court, but that would be going into Lendl's forehand, and he wasn't sure he wanted to do that. It looked as though he might have changed his mind and made a very poor swing at it.
I don't blame him. I'm a little nervous about running to the net, giving Lendl a shot at me. On the forehand, it's a rifle.
Whoa! Backhand's not too bad either, as it's double break point for Lendl.
I don't know whether it'll be the final nail in the coffin, but it's sure going to be a long way back.
Would be 2 service breaks for Lendl in this set. Lendl now leads 5 games to 2, third set. Will return after this message from your local station. Ivan Lendl in the far court to serve, leading 5-2 in the third set. Trying to serve out the match, defend his title. Delayed fault call. Here's the lob over McEnroe's head. There's really only one good play to make on this situation. That's to throw the ball up in the air, a defensive lob. McEnroe tried to drive it down the line, and Lendl was right there. We come back live at 15 love. We've just been notified that Bjorn Borg's agent, Bob Kane, has advised that Borg is definitely retiring. He says he does not plan to play any more tournaments in the foreseeable future. That is a great loss to the game. We wish the gentleman well, whatever he chooses to do.
35.
Lendl has held his serve 13 times in a row, facing only 2 break points all day. And it is now 30-love. That is out. And it is triple match point for Lendl. I think the look on his face pretty much tells the story. A frustrated John McEnroe staring defeat number 7 in a row in the face to Ivan Lendl.
Game, set, match, championship, Lendl.
Defending champion Ivan Lendl has defeated John McEnroe 6-4, 6-4, 6-2. And when you think about it, what an incredible feat to come into this Masters Championship playing 12 of the top players in the world, those that won the most points. And Ivan Lendl lost his serve once in the entire tournament. A tremendous feat. Again, we mentioned that people say, gee, Ivan Lendl wins a lot, but he doesn't win anything big. This is the 2nd year in a row that Lendl has won this Masters Championship. The cream of the crop was here. And for the 2nd year in a row, Ivan Lendl has emerged the champion, and very, very decisively. He absolutely destroyed Jimmy Connors in the semifinals and has done the same thing to John McEnroe. And if you can see there, McEnroe has to wonder what he has to do to defeat Ivan Lendl. Last year, Ivan Lendl defeated Vitas Gerulaitis in the finals in 5 sets. This year, he has demolished John McEnroe in 3 straight sets, 6-4, 6-4, 6-2. John Newcomb is at courtside with the champion, Ivan Lendl. Let's go to you, Nuke.
Ivan, congratulations. It seemed like every time you're in trouble on your serve, you came up with a big first serve.
Well, if I play well, I'm serving well, and I have a lot of confidence, and most of the times I'm able to help myself with big serves.
In the beginning of the match, both Tony and I thought that you and John were a little nervous, and it seemed like you were watching to see if he was going to be doing something different today.
Well, I was looking for him to do some, to try to do something different, but I think he played the best strategy he could, and, we both were a little nervous, and I was very happy to get a break in the first game. It helped me a lot.
Yes, it gave you a lot of confidence to go for your shots, and as the match progressed, you actually started to come into the net a bit more.
Well, John started hitting a little softer and shorter, and gave me chances to come to the net.
Bjorn Borg has announced that he is retiring. He did that actually this afternoon. What does that mean to the world circuit? Are you disappointed that you won't have a chance to play against Bjorn? He's sort of fading out as you're coming right to the top.
Well, there is nothing I can do about it. Bjorn, he played a long time on the top. He was great champion and great player, and I hope he thinks that he really did the right decision, and he probably has had enough, and I wish him good rest.
This is you've defended your title here at the Masters, a Grand Slam tournament. Is that the ambition for 1983?
Well, I would like to win some, definitely, and I will do my best as I did last year, and we will see what happens.
Is the French or the US Open, will that be either one of those be the two?
Well, I would take both if you give it to me, but if you give me just choice of one, I would take the US Open, because I think that's the biggest of all of them.
You're playing so strong out on the court, and you're so decisive in the way you're hitting the ball. Is there any part of your game that you think you might be able to improve, or that you're looking at to improve?
Well, sometimes I'm tossing the ball too low on my serve, and I seem to hit it to the net a lot, and I just should concentrate on it a little more. And as you said before, every time I'm in trouble, I seem to hit the first serve in, and every time I'm in trouble, I try to think about it. And if it's very low, I'm just not that careful, and I should be.
Ivan, I know they're waiting to have the presentation, and there's just one favour I'd like you to do. Everyone says to me how serious you are, and I say, no, he's not really that serious. He's got a very good sense of humour. Could you smile for all the people?
Well, I don't know. Maybe they have to come to Bondi, you know?
Bondi, that's in Australia, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, Ivan, thanks very much, and congratulations once again for a super match.
Thank you.
Tony, let's go back up to you.
Okay, Nick, very good. Thanks a lot. The picture tells a great story right there. John McEnroe was in the Masters finals the last time in 1979. He had won 4 tournaments in a row at the end of 1982, and I'm sure was very confident. As he came out to play this match, I thought that the tempo of his effort was very good, but as Lendl started knocking balls past him and knocking serves past him, his tempo slowed, his shots got shorter and softer, and it cost him the match. There are some awards to be received at the end of a tennis championship, so let's go down to the court and John Newcomb. Nuke?
Mr. Tom Lebrecht, the president of the Chase Manhattan Bank, to give the runners-up award to John McEnroe.
John, thank you very much. This is the 6th consecutive year that Chase has had the pleasure to bring you this kind of exciting tennis at the Masters. And it really is my pleasure to present the runner-up award of $64,000 to John McEnroe, who gave us such quality tennis today and has given the United States such quality tennis in the Davis Cup for the last couple of years. John, thank you very much.
Mr. Bjorn Ahlstrom, president of Volvo of America, to present the winners' award.
Thank you, John. It has been a great week of tennis, and it gives me great pleasure on behalf of Volvo and Volvo dealers to present the winner's check of $100,000 to the great champion, Ivan Lendl. And also, Ivan, I have the great pleasure of presenting to you the 3rd Volvo you have won over the last 12 months. You can open a dealership. Congratulations.
Thank you, Bjorn. Tony, let's go back up to you.
Okay, Nuke, thank you very much. We mentioned that last year in the finals of the Masters, Ivan Lendl defeated Vitas Gerulaitis in a very exciting 5-set match, coming back from a 2-set-to-love deficit. After we come back from this commercial message, we're going to bring you part of that match where Ivan Lendl defeated Gerulaitis in the Masters last year.